I thought I'd take a little time in this video to talk to you about the bike that I've been riding in the last couple of rides in the Propel 100 and the Bikes Fight Cancer, and how I got it. Most of the bikes I've ridden up till now, well, I had a trike for a while, and I ride this bike. And when I'm not riding that one, usually along the Erie Canal, which is nice and flat, I'm riding my e-bike. But for these charity rides, the roll isn't going to be very comfortable for 25, 30 miles. And the e-bike is just not really doable. I also wanted to be very, very careful and conscious of the bike that I got. I suffered a back injury in my 30s, which is not horrible, but does still give me problems. And so if the bike doesn't fit right, I'm going to be in pain by the time I'm done all these rides. We looked at a lot of different bikes. We finally decided that the Gorilla Monsoon was just exactly right for me. It's something that's custom built for me from the ground up because fortunately, I married a guy who knows a lot about bikes and is a really good bike mechanic. So I'm going to get him to tell us about what he did.
So I bought a frame instead of a whole complete bike because I wanted to control all of the equipment that went onto the frame. There are plenty of great bikes that are complete bikes out there, including the frame here, that make great bikes. They're well equipped, but I like to choose parts. I like to pretend I'm a product planner, so I designed all aspects of this bike. We went through a lot of frames. Diane chose the frames that she liked based on looks and based on the type of bike that it was. And then I researched frame geometry and materials, and we settled on a frame that was going to be durable and easy for her to ride, and that was adaptable to either a flat bar like this or a drop bar. So Diane chose a flat bar because we tried a couple of different riding configurations. Over the winter, we did a lot of indoor training with a drop bar bike and decided that we could not adjust the fit of the bike to her so that she would be comfortable riding that bike for 2 or 3 hours at a stretch. We went with a flat bar because that's more what she's used to and more of an upright riding position. Not quite as upright as the roll, but more upright than a drop bar bike. We chose this specific bar, which is the Jones H-Bar 2.5, because it has a nice generous back sweep, and the 2.5 in particular has a 2.5-inch rise to it, which gets a somewhat more upright riding position than the standard Jones H-Bar. One of the most fun parts of the build for me is building wheels. I enjoy building wheels. I do a pretty good job at it. And I wanted to build something special that fit the theme of this adventure. There are several good hub companies out in the world, across the world and in the United States. I narrowed it down based on the availability of a pink hub set, because pink is for breast cancer awareness. Finally wound up with a company in California that makes bicycle hubs called White Industries. They make great hubs. They're good to build with. They're going to be durable and strong, and they come in the spoke count that I needed. Then we go to the rim. The rim on the outer portion of here, I built a nice lightweight aluminum rim from a company here in New York named Stan's No Tubes. Stan's No Tubes was a pioneer in tubeless technology. I wanted her to run a tubeless tire setup, so I chose their rim. It's nice and lightweight, pairs well with the hub, and it builds a beautiful wheel. So if we pick up what would normally be a puncture out on one of the routes, the sealant will automatically just seal that small leak so that we can continue without interruption. The tire I chose, which is a 2-inch tire, because it's nice and comfortable. We've got a tread that's fast rolling for pavement, but it's a 2-inch tire, so it's going to be more comfortable to ride for a rider that doesn't put in lots of miles and do a lot of suffering on the bike. So this is a comfort feature. From that same company, White Industries, I chose their Crankset, which is this part that has your pedal on it, because they make a beautiful aluminum crankset that they machine themselves, and also the lock nut matches the hubs. The main part of the meat of the drivetrain, the cassette and the chain and the shifter, are from SRAM. It's actually a mountain bike group set, and it has electronic shifting. The electronic shifting is nice for Diane because it's no fuss. There are no cables involved that can fall out of adjustment as we're using them. As long as we keep our battery charged, which is super easy, we have instantaneous shifting. So this is what's known as the SRAM GX Axis AXS group set. It's 12 speeds, so there are 12 cogs on this cassette, and it has a range from 10 teeth when you're going super fast or down steep hills to 50 teeth, so that when you're going up those 10% grades, you've got a gear that'll get you up the hill. So in keeping with our drivetrain theme, I have brakes from SRAM. They're hydraulic disc brakes. So I'm using a mix of road bike calipers and mountain bike levers that work well together in this application. So a nice strong disc brake. They're hydraulic, so there's no adjustment required while we're out on the road. As long as the system is bled properly, then it will work with minimal fuss. If you're trying to get out on the road yourself to do some of these charity rides, or just riding generally, the best thing to do is find a local bike shop in your area, go talk to them, tell them about what your goals are with riding. Where do you want to ride? How long do you want to ride? What kind of, do you want to be more comfortable? Do you want to go fast? And then they will help guide you along the path for types of bike, budget level, and specific bikes that you can try out and see what is comfortable for you to ride. Just remember, there's no such thing as bad weather, only poor gear choice.